my name's Jade and today we're going to be talking about City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I love it when book titles make complete sense. It honestly makes my day. It's that bad. City of Glass, you know, Alicarnate. So this is the third book in the Mortal Instruments, and I'm pretty sure that they were going to leave it like that for a little while, and then they decided, she decided, no, she wants to go on the series. I kind of wish she left it like this because it ends really happily ever after. A little bit into the fifth book now, and it's not so happy anymore. I mean, it's still not like my favorite, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel like I'm definitely growing and warming to the series. I'm excited to read the Infernal Devices because I've got high hopes for them because everyone says they're beautiful and stuff, so yes, excited. So, if you've not read this book, I recommend you leave now so you don't get spoiled because I'm gonna break it all down. But if you haven't read the book, so the very beginning, Jace is trying to get Simon to convince Clare to not go to Alicarnate because he's not told the Clave about her rune creating ability because he's scared they're gonna like use her for the wrong reasons and stuff, and he doesn't want that to happen. So I understand where he's coming from. But she's a big girl, she can make her own decisions, that's so me. She was getting really excited. She just wants to save her mom at the end of the day. But she's stubborn. She annoys me quite a lot, I think. Not the biggest fan of hers. I mean, she's not terrible. I try so hard to like her, but she can just be a bit of a handful at times. Simon and Jace's banter is so funny. If I feel the urge to burst into flames, I'll let you know. Simon never had much patience with Jace. Look, did you ask me to come all the way uptown just so you could stare at me like I was something in a petri dish? Next time I'll send you a photo and I'll frame it and put it on my nightstand. So hilarious. This book was really funny. I laughed quite a lot. Just all the characters are so funny. I love it. It just brings a smile to my faces. The characters are pretty cool. Yeah, so Simon is a daylighter, which means he can get in daylight. I'm happy for him because all the bad stuff always seems happy to him. Bad stuff still happens to him, but at least now he can have bad stuff happen to him in the sunlight. Yeah, I feel so bad for Simon because they had the attack. When they were leaving to go to Alicarnate, they were attacked. And Simon got injured, of course, so Jace dragged him through the portal, and downwarders aren't allowed in Alicarnate. And so, well, no, wrong. They aren't allowed in the City of Glass. I can't remember what it's called. Idris, I think. Without having like permission and asking and having all the documents or whatever. Everyone has to plan. They can't just pop up. They have to plan to be there, especially downwarders. And so they're very suspicious of him, and so they take him to the Inquisitor and say they're going to send him in. Trick poor Alec, and then Jace is really mad at Alec for letting them go off with him. And the Inquisitor has this crazy theory about the Lightwoods, or not really theory, he's just blaming the Lightwoods for Valentine and Jace and all that crazy stuff. And good old Simon won't help him, so he gets locked up, makes a new buddy. And it all goes spiraling out of control. Okay, so that's what happens to Simon, and then his new buddy turns out to be Hodge. That was, I didn't see that one coming. Harry doesn't get to go through the portal, and she gets really mad and upset about this, and so she decides to create her own portal. Surely, I'm pretty sure they've told her about the wards before. Idris is covered in wards, so you can't go in there. And what happens is Luke obviously goes with her, and they bounce off the wards and fall into this lake that is poisonous for shadow hunters because it's the lake that, can't remember the angel, but the angel rose out of all these years ago with the cup and the sword. And then it turns out as well it's the mirror. That was so cool, how no one could find the mirror and it turns out it's that lake. I found that really cool. Good old Hodge. See, it's all it all ties together. So she starts like hallucinating because she drank some of the water and Luke couldn't get it out of her, and he's really mad, and Harry's kind of like, oh, he's mad at me. Well, yeah, of course he's mad. You shouldn't be so stupid. Oh, I know. Portal. Like, people have warned her how like hard they are and how just dangerous they are. Sebastian, Jace and Izzy and Alec and Max are just chilling in the, I can't remember the next name, but in their family's friend's house. Yeah. Sebastian and his cousin Aileen are there. Sebastian, what did you think of him at first? I was kind of like, I found him charming, and he was like good looking or whatever. So I really liked him at first, but then he was a bit too nice and she was kind of wary, so I was kind of wary. And then when Clare kissed him, because they went to look for the Book of White, but then it turned from Ragnarfell. Then Ragnarfell dead, and Magnus was there, and he was tempted to turn Sebastian into a coat rack. That came up in the book, and we didn't. And I burst out laughing. Like it wasn't a moment to laugh. It was a very like serious moment, but I burst into laughter. So they kiss, and she's like, it felt wrong and strange, like I was falling into a pit of black water. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I was I didn't trust him from then on out. It was too weird. It's too much. Sirens were going off in my head. So, yeah. And then it turns out that he's Clary's brother. Dun dun dun! Okay, we'll get into that later. I'm trying to go in the order of what things happen so I can remember it all. So then Jace takes Clary. Like, he was really mean to her. They had that argument, and I felt like both sides were stupid, to be honest. I understood where Jace was coming from, but I felt like he was mean. No, I understood like how he cared about her or whatever, but I feel like he was really mean to her. And then like Claire didn't deserve quite so harsh. She just didn't deserve it. And then whatever Claire was arguing about, I didn't agree with what she was saying. I don't know, I just, both of you shut up and get along. But then they make up or something, and then they go to the house where Jace was raised, and in the book, and they also find an angel, and they learn that Claire has angel blood in her, and that Jace has demon blood in him, and he goes all punishing himself, and the house explodes, and it's all very dramatic, and then they kiss, but then they argue. They're just constantly bickering, like, so annoying. He said, now it makes sense why I'm in love with my sister, because I got demon blood, and she's like, you think you only love me because you got demon blood in you? Like, that's offensive. Max, that's what happened next. That was so sad. Like, when I was reading it, I was like, no, he didn't just... And then it swapped POVs. I was so frustrated. I wanted to know what happened. So it turns out Simon's friend was Hodge, and they get him out, and then they have a lot of discussion about how the mirrors really the lake, and then that gave... Because Sebastian was there, that meant he was able to tell Valentine this, and then he broke the wards, and all havoc was loose, and demons came in. But he also killed Hodge, and it was... And they were trying to heal him, and he was like, no, Jonathan, or something like that. And Jace was like, oh, Alec, you do it. I don't think he wants me to touch him. He's like, no, not you. Sebastian! Oh my goodness. How did Clary not get it? From there, I was like, oh my, no. Because I'm like, him killing Hodge just proved that he's bad guy. He's got black dye in his hair. He's charming, like a certain someone we know. But then he's too charming, and he's just not right. There's some weird sense about him that makes her feel like she's falling into a pit of darkness because he's got demon blood in him. They're still believing at this point in Jace's annoyance. Clary comes up with this new binding rune. I was like, go for you, Clary. And then they bind the downwarders with the clave because they finally let downwarders fight with them. I mean, they're just so prejudiced. So rude. And Alec like comes out to his parents or whatever because he kissed Magnus. I was happy for him. And there was the whole Raphael business. So Clary gave Simon the mark of Cain. I didn't get that at first. I was very confused, like, what? And then they kind of explained it's like, oh, but it's a curse, it's truly is a good thing. But then I didn't really, yes, I knew that the whole backstory about it, you know, I didn't really take it as seriousness of this. Poor Simon, just everything bad happens to him. And so there's this fight. Whilst this fight is going on, oh yeah, Jocelyn, I completely forgot. She came back and she explained it all to Claire about how Sebastian, like, he's not Sebastian, how Sebastian's like dead or whatever, and well, we learn that he's dead later, and that this is an imposter and it's really Jonathan, and that Jace is Lightwood, no, not Lightwood, is a Herondale. Get all this explanation from her, and that was so nice. Just like everything suddenly made sense. I was so glad. She was really mad at her mum at first, and that was kind of like awkward. I can't say I blame her, to be honest. Okay, so Jace, he's going off on this like death mission because he thinks he's got demon blood in him and he's not worthy or whatever. He gave Clary the ring and freaked her right out, and he's like heartbroken and stuff. He manages to catch up with Sebastian, you know, Jonathan, and Valentine, and Valentine goes to summon the angel. Sebastian starts like beating up Jace. When he was faster than Jace when they killed Hodge, that freaked me out because no one's faster than Jace. Jace is Jace. Like, no. That, again, that's when I knew something was wrong. Jace's angel blood in him, so it was so good. I remember talking up in my City of Ashes book talk about how he can jump that high and do all these things if he's not really Valentine's done. He's got angel blood in it. It makes sense. I'm happy. Sebastian is beating Jace up, and then it all elaborates so that Sebastian nearly kills Jace, but Jace just about gets him. And then Izzy is there as well and cuts off Sebastian's hands. That was scary and dramatic, and I didn't like it. I don't know if this is amongst it, but then at some point Clary sees a dude talking about Valentine, and then she goes to Valentine and he binds her up and whatever, and then Jace comes along to kill Valentine as she killed Jonathan, but then because Clary's like bound up and stuff and she can't do anything, she's kind of led there helplessly, so Jace fights Valentine on his own, and then Valentine kills Jace. Whoa, what? I knew nothing bad was going to happen to him because there's like more books and people talk about him in those books, and he's in the cover of one of them, so obviously nothing bad's going to happen to him. That was kind of ruined it for me, but yeah. To be honest, I'm still reading this book and there's still spoilers that haven't come up yet. It's really annoying me how spoiled I am. Like, the main storyline isn't really, but like things that happen, and it's the kind of things, and I know they're gonna happen. It's really frustrating. And so Jace is dead. The angel's there, but thank God he doesn't like Valentine or whatever. He doesn't think Valentine made a big enough sacrifice, or he argued with him about it, and then Clary got rid of Valentine's in the sand or whatever and wrote her name so that the angel owed her. The angel finally said, like, Valentine, you know, you're not worth it, and killed him. And then Clary got a wish and she wished for Jace. This causes problems in the next book, but well, it was worth it. If there's ever a moment for da-da-dun-dun, da-da-dun-dun, you know, that kind of really dramatic music, that was the moment, like, that ending, just ah! And then we had the little very end with, like, the carnival or whatever it was, and that was really happy. I really liked that. So I would have been happy if it ended as the trilogy because it was just so happy and everything was resolved, and there was like drama and there was like hardship, but everything resolved. Yeah, the angel was just really weird. It kind of creeped me out a little bit. Simon's got Maya and Izzy both watching him. I just really liked that ending. The Sea Queen was there. Ugh, she annoyed me. And Jocelyn and Luke are getting married. I smiled so much at that bit. And they all lived happily ever after. Apart from they don't, because things are very stressful right now where I am in the series. I'm gonna give it about an 8 out of 10 because I'm a harsh marker, okay? I tend to be harsh with things. I really enjoyed it, but again, as I said, I don't know, it just didn't feel spectacular to me. I can't describe it. So yeah, 8 out of 10, that's good. It's good. So the song is Bleeding Out by Imagine Dragons. I just feel like it sums up this book well. Just mainly Clary and Jace's relationship, I think. I don't know, I just think it sums up a lot of things that happen in this book, and it just feels right to me. Let me know what you think, which song you think matches this book. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening / night. My name's Jade. I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye!